Hey guys, I'm back again. Tonight I've got my husband Wes with me, and that's because we are gonna do the Ancestry DNA test. We each have one. The reason I wanted to do this was because of the fact that I don't know a whole lot about my biological father's side of the family. My understanding is that my grandfather on my father's side, so my dad's dad, was 100% Italian, which should make me 25% Italian, at least on that side. I think that's how that works, right? I mean,
I think so.
Yeah. And then on my mom's side of the family, my grandfather always said that my great grandmother was Cherokee. So I expect to see some Cherokee, maybe not a lot, but at least maybe a little bit in it. And then I can't remember what side, but I think I have some Irish in me too. I can't remember which side of the family that's on though. And then with you,
I don't really know much. Pretty sure my family has is of Polish descent and has some Western European, maybe German, some other countries around there. I'm not really sure. So I'm going to learn a lot from my test.
also, I will be putting a referral code in the description of the video. If you use my code, you get
15%.
15%, and I think they send me a gift card. So it says Ancestry DNA. Welcome to Ancestry DNA. He's not a reader. It says simply complete the following steps and let the discoveries begin. 1, activate Kit Online, safe and secure. 2, gather DNA, simple and easy. So, and it has English, Spanish, French, Dutch, Portuguese, Polish, and Italian.
Perfect. That's good. Okay.
So, okay. Do not skip this step. It says to activate Kit Online. Do not skip the step. You cannot get your results unless you activate your test.
Okay.
So it wants us to go to ancestrydna.com/activate. Okay, so I am logged in. I already had an ancestry.com account. So I'm going to log into my account. And the first thing it asks you is who's providing the DNA sample. And actually, I've had an Ancestry DNA account for so long that it has my maiden name. So that's kind of interesting. So it's going to have a collection tube. And it says to enter the 15-digit activation code on the collection tube to link your test results to your account. Okay, so right now both of us are putting in the codes that are on here. So right off the bat, it's going to ask you for your birth year and your gender. And you can leave this checked or not, but it says, would you like to receive weekly emails about your DNA results? Okay, and so one of the things it says is just how big is your family? When we process your DNA sample, we compare your results to other ancestry members to see if you have DNA in common. These are your DNA matches. If you choose to see your DNA matches, you will be linked as a match to them. You and your matches can discover how you're related, view each other's profiles, and send messages to each other. Cool. So I'm actually going to go ahead and see my click yes to see my DNA matches and be listed as a match. Just because I actually don't know a whole lot about my biological father's side of the family other than a little bit here and there. So I would love to be able to know more. That's kind of the point of this. So it's basically a rundown of like your email address and your full name and your date of birth and all of that. So, and then you activate your Kit Online. And then it's going to ask for your phone number and it's going to send me a message to see the status of the kit and everything like that. And it says I'm all set. So now that I've activated the DNA test, it says, please don't forget to mail in your DNA sample. You can expect your results in about 6 to 8 weeks. So obviously we're not going to be recording this video all in one day. It is January 29th today. So we will see really how long it actually in real time takes to get our results. One thing that will give you the option is if you want to upgrade your membership for Ancestry.com. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and actually just get into the test. We've already activated our account. We've already put the activation code that was on this in, and it says to not eat, drink, smoke, or chew gum 30 minutes before giving your saliva sample. So on the same thing, it actually has a place for your name and your activation code. That's actually just for your records, so they can you can keep up with what your sample number was and all of that. But they have to have that or they can't process your stuff. So fill the tube with saliva to the black wavy line. I guess I have to open it first though, huh? So I went ahead and took my lipstick off because it says to not eat, drink, smoke, all of that before you do this. Or chew gum, that's the other thing. So because this is super gross, so they want us to fill up this little tube all the way up to here with spit, which is a lot of spit, I think. Especially since I can't have anything to drink right now. So we're actually going to do that off camera because that's just gross. So we'll be back in a second when we're done with this part of it. Okay, so now that we did the super gross part, one thing that we've learned already is that it took me a lot longer to fill up the container of spit because I have salivary gland damage from radiation for thyroid cancer. So let's hope that when I send this off, they can get what they need. I assume it doesn't matter, but it took me forever to get mine filled. So, okay, now that we did the gross part, it says fill the tube with saliva to the black wavy line, which we did. Replace the funnel with the cap. So the cap looks like this. It has some like blue liquid in it. It says remove the funnel from the tube, which we just did, and then screw on the enclosed cap. Right? Just like that.
Screw it on really hard.
To release the solution.
Yeah. Keep screwing it on. Okay. Tight. Until it drips down into it. There you go. Okay.
Okay. So like I just tapped mine a little bit because apparently I'm just gonna have issues.
And then shake it.
So we shook it. It looked kind of like mouthwash mixed with spit, so gives you an idea. And then we're gonna have a collection bag that looks like this. Insert cap tube in the bag, seal the collection bag, put bag in the return mailer. All right, so then now that our sample's in there, we're gonna seal the bag. Okay, so when you're done, it's gonna look something like this. Also in your box is the box you're gonna mail it in. It's already prepaid and everything. All right, and so it says that when testing is complete, they're gonna send an email to the address associated with your Ancestry account. So, make sure you can remember what email address you used if you have multiple email addresses, because that would be my luck, because I wouldn't remember, and then it would just be lost forever. Okay, so boxes are sealed, ready to go, and we should find out in about 6 to 8 weeks. Again, it's January 29th, 2019. We're gonna find out what we're made of. Yeah, so this is gonna be cool. This will be a unique learning experience. There's a lot of others out there. This is just Ancestry. It was the one that I think they had a deal on around Christmas time, and so we thought, this is a good time to just go ahead and do it. It was kind of our Christmas gift to ourselves.
Yep.
Hope we're not adopted. I'm just kidding. It's okay. You turned out all right. Anyway, we will return in 6 to 8 weeks with this. Okay, guys, so excuse my appearance, first of all. I'm really sick this week, but I got a text today that my results are in because I followed instructions. So I'm going to go ahead and reveal my results. They said it was going to take 6 to 8 weeks. It only took me 5 to get mine back. I put it in on January 29th. Today is March 5th. We'll add in more once he gets his, because I want to like show his results too, just because I'm curious, and we already included him in the first part of the video. But okay, so basically what happens is if you sign up for the text results, they text you when your DNA is being extracted. They text you when they've received your DNA, and then they also send you a link to see your results. So we're going to check out my results and see what it came up with. And like I said in the beginning, in the first part of this video, to my knowledge, I am Irish, Italian, and Cherokee. Beyond that, I don't know. I've been told on my biological father's side that my grandfather was 100% Italian. I've been told that I have Cherokee and Irish, I think, on my mom's side of the family. So I'm interested to see what actually comes up in all of this.
Yeah.
So, I'm logged in now. It gives you a section in the middle of the site that will say DNA matches. It's really just more or less what people that have Ancestry accounts. It can link you up with people that maybe you are related to on some level.
That have taken this test.
That have taken the test.
Yeah.
So it doesn't just show you, a list of your, like this says 1,000 plus fourth cousins or closer. It's not going to show you anybody specific, I don't think, unless they have an account too. But I like that it can link you to people.
If you have a long lost brother-in-law, or not brother-in-law, brother,
blood
brother, then it would show up on this. That's taking the test. It would show up on here.
But it does still show percentages of your ethnicity though on here anyway. So interestingly, to me anyway, it says that I'm 58% England, Wales, and Northwestern Europe. I wonder what that means. I don't know. I don't know what else. Where is Northwest? Like what would be Northwestern Europe?
UK.
I'm not geographically inclined.
France, I think. Spain, the Netherlands, Denmark, maybe.
Okay.
That kind of stuff.
Okay, so it says 58% on that. And then it says 15% Ireland and Scotland, which I knew Irish because of my great grandmother. I knew she had some Irish, I think, or somebody pretty closely related. And then you can there's going to be a plus on the screen if you have a lot of other ethnicities. This says I have 6 other regions. So and then there's also a button on here that says discover your DNA story. I'm going to click the 6 other regions because this is really interesting to me that Italian's not popping up immediately. This says, great news, Lindsay, your results have arrived. And it says your results include ethnicity breakdown, DNA story, and DNA matches. This is where it gets interesting. Okay. Wow. Weird.
That's pretty cool.
Wow. This is really strange to me. Okay. 58% England, Wales, and Northwestern Europe. 15% Ireland and Scotland. 9% France. 9% Germanic Europe. So if you have German, then we both have German, possibly, as long as yours are correct. Then it says only 4% Italy, which is interesting.
It's really low. We expected that to be way higher.
I thought that would be more like 25% or somewhere higher. So that's odd. 2% Sweden, 2% Finland, and 1% Turkey and the Caucasus. Yeah. Caucasus. Additional communities, it says Southern State Settlers, Tennessee and Southern State Settlers, and it says West Tennessee.
This is your more recent.
Okay. This is like
communities.
Probably since I've had my DNA in the last few years.
Your family has lived in the South. They settled the South.
And the Southern.
300 years ago.
Yeah. So this says West Tennessee, Arkansas, and Northeast Texas settlers. Which is kind of interesting because your family's in Texas. Some of your family's in Texas now, but they didn't start out there. So, okay. So this says you can explore any of your results in your DNA story. So from 1825 to 1850, this is Tennessee's golden age. And it basically says that Tennessee's early migration boom was paying off. They had a lot of diverse agriculture. By 1840, the state was called the breadbasket of the South. It was America's highest corn producer, blah, 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 blah. The state also had a growing reputation for education. The prestigious University of Nashville educated physicians throughout the Appalachian region. This is
just about the age.
Yeah, it's just Tennessee from 1825 to 1850, kind of what Tennessee was like.
When your ancestors were from this era.
Okay. So
1800s
so
Tennessee settlers.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tennessee
awesome.
and southern state settlers.
So your family has lived in
18
Tennessee since the 1800s.
That's pretty
what that's
cool.
saying.
So almost 200 years. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. Okay. So the next thing, click forward. It says you share the Tennessee and southern state settler community with 1,570 of your DNA matches, which is pretty high, I feel like.
Yeah.
Matches are other people who have taken taken an ancestry DNA test who might be related to you. And then it gives you, let's
A couple of
see.
examples.
Yeah, it's just shows pictures. It says you and 1,570 people are of your DNA matches, along with 833,750 other ancestry DNA members, are all genetically linked to this region through shared ancestry. So it's, it's regional, which is, I didn't really expect
cool.
it to show that kind of stuff. But so there's 3 options. You can share your results, view DNA story, or view matches. So I'm going to do view DNA story. And this is interesting. It shows a big, like the map of the world, basically, and it shows the breakdown. It's color coded and things like that on like a grayscale map, and it shows just kind of the regions. So you can see kind of the grouping of, I guess that's Northwestern Europe.
Yeah. So
That's this main
yeah,
grouping
so
here.
Northwestern Europe is up here. This is Europe here, Eastern Europe, Italy,
Interesting.
Asia there.
Okay, so we really did, we legitimately expected to see 25% Italian, and it's very, very, very small amount, much, much lower than I expected.
Tiki France. Yeah.
It's interesting that French and Scotland are a lot higher.
Primarily from England.
Okay, so it says 54 to 70% England, Wales, and Northwestern Europe, and it's all the whole UK, and most of Ireland is lit up, most of Denmark, most of Germany, all of Switzerland, France, Belgium, Luxembourg, Wales, England, Scotland, the whole UK area, which is
straight
really
out of the middle of
surprising.
England. That's where you're from.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, this
But
is
the Italy thing, that's blowing my mind a little bit.
Yeah, me too.
With how your family's always said you're 100% Italian on, but your grandfather is 100% Italian.
My paternal grandfather's side, I've always been told was 100% Italian. So maybe that's not as accurate. And he unfortunately passed several years ago. So
even if they happen to live in Italy, they don't. They could be English living in Italy, and maybe their bloodline wasn't as pure as they thought.
It's just interesting. I mean, this is exactly why I wanted to do it, because I don't know a whole lot of the history. I only knew of what I've been told, and this is completely different from what I've been told. So that's crazy. What else can we see? Is there anything else?
We're gonna go back to a few matches.
Okay, so you can click around on the bottom and look at all there's a bunch of different history. You can look at and see the path of travel and stuff like that. So
we just click view DNA matches. So these are people that have taken the test that are genetically related to you at some remove. These are third cousins, looks like the most related matches. Biologically matches.
Okay, so all right. So it does say that the very first match on here says that they're possibly my third or fourth cousin, and the confidence in that result is extremely high. So basically you can click view match and see, I guess,
if they have a profile.
Maybe this says that their ethnicity is Europe South, Caucasus and Iberian Peninsula, and trace regions of Middle East, European Jewish, Great Britain, Africa North, and Melanesia. So, like, that's a strong possibility that I'm related to this person as a third or fourth cousin, and their ethnicities as well. So yeah. So then when you click somebody, it says discover how you're connected, and then you can hit start now.
Oh, you gotta pay. Oh.
And then it's paid. So,
or free trial probably, but
probably a free trial. So it is limited, which I'm kind of disappointed in. Again, there are a lot of other tests out there that you can take. 23andMe, I think, is one. This is interesting. This makes me want to go try something else just to see what other results come up.
Yeah, I think 23andMe may tell you more about your
the actual people.
No, this is going to tell you more about actual people. The other one's going to tell you more about your DNA results, health related, and other things like that. I think 23andMe will give you a lot more results like that.
Okay, so yeah, so
this will link you with people who have taken it.
Yeah, so this basically just shows you your heritage, and something like 23andMe can show you what that heritage potentially means, and like health risks and things that you're susceptible to, or that you might be a genetic carrier of, or something like that. So I guess that's really just the biggest difference, is it actually, this shows you who you're related to, that's how they use your DNA, versus the other that uses your DNA to figure out genetically things about yourself. So that's really the biggest difference. Again, closest thing that I'm seeing is like third and fourth cousins. Again, this is just trying to connect me to people that have an Ancestry.com account. I mean, it goes fourth to sixth cousin. Okay, and you know, if you're familiar at all with Ancestry, they can show you. You can click the hint, you know, the leaf hint button at the top right, and you can build off of that. Sometimes it's right, sometimes it's wrong. I think I remember years ago, my great-grandmother was listed, but her death date was wrong, so I went and corrected it. So, you know, if you have nowhere to start, Ancestry, I think, is a really good place to start. And, you know, just by searching your last name and seeing what comes up. How did we get to that? Okay, so actually, if you find somebody that it says you're possibly a cousin, you can click them, and you can also see, it says shared matches with that person. So does that mean my fourth cousin, possibly?
You would both have that person related, or possibly related.
Possibly, okay. So I looked at the one person that shared my birth last name, and you can see that there's one shared match that is possibly a fourth cousin to me. It says fourth to sixth cousin, and they're pretty confident. That's interesting, though. I'm still blown away by the lack of Italian. Yeah, you guys. So again, I followed instructions and got mine a lot faster. So we'll figure out what you are
probably
next
tomorrow.
Time. Probably. Yeah. So I'm interested to see what his comes up as next. So definitely some surprises.
I'm more Italian than you, then something's weird.
Yeah, they messed up our DNA. I don't know. Yeah, I'm genuinely surprised.
To make some phone calls about why you're not Italian.
Yeah, and this is why they tell you don't do it if you're not expecting surprises. So you hear stories about that all the time, and
someone's distant, or the two brothers will take it, and one brother will find out that they're not directly related to their brother. You know, they're only half brothers. I've heard of it.
Nothing like that in mine. Just we don't really know. We don't have that much.
Yet.
Yeah, I mean we don't. No, we just don't have that much information, which doesn't really surprise me, I guess, in a way. So, yeah, those are my results. Pretty surprising. We'll see what his come up with.
Okay, we're back. It's been 2 days since she got her results, and I finally got mine. I guess
because I followed instructions.
Yeah, she followed instructions, and she's prettier, so they did hers first, even though we mailed them in at the exact same time.
They were in the mailbox at the same time and everything, so.
She got I don't know, whatever. But from the first video to now, I did remember that my grandfather had his DNA results tested at Ancestry DNA. And I know that when I did mine, that what they should do is link us together. They should recognize that we're both related and give us results saying that he's in my family tree. So if that's not in these results, then something's bogus. But
Yeah, and based on my results, it's kind of interesting, a lot different than I thought they were going to be. So,
but I will say he sent me his, and my grandfather on my paternal side, his results say that he is 55% Europe East and 22% Great Britain, 18% Scandinavian, and 3% Ireland. So that's where I was pretty sure I have a lot of Polish and Poland and Polish. I know there's a lot of Polish in my family, and so I should have a pretty significant amount of Polish in my blood.
of course,
Even
we thought I was a quarter
Yeah,
Italian.
I thought she was going to be at least a quarter of Italian. My grandfather, I know for a fact, was 55% Europe East. So that would make my dad, even if his mom didn't have any, that would make him 25%, which would make me 12.5%. So if I don't have at least 12% Polish or Eastern European, then something's going to be weird. And if I'm not related to him, according to these results, something's weird.
They look just alike. I mean,
We do look alike.
they
so
sound
I
and
would
look
give it-
exactly
okay.
the same.
So let's look and see what we got. Okay. Oh, so it does say that I am 35% Germanic Europe. Okay. 23% Baltic states. 21% Eastern Europe and Russia. So that's
Russian, wow.
so that is higher. That is Polish and all those countries over there. 12% England, Wales, and Northwestern Europe.
I think I might
4%
have
Norway. 3% Sweden. 2% Ireland and Scotland.
Which I'm surprised your Ireland and Scotland is so low too.
So
His mom and his sister are both straight up redheads, so
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I'm surprised it's so low.
So my grandfather was, his family
Paternal,
is
yeah.
from, paternal grandfather is from Eastern Europe. So I do have a good amount of Eastern Europe, 21%. And then my grandmother her side must have the Germanic Europe side on it. So German and Polish, which I don't know, in the 40s was probably not a good time to be German
Probably
and
not.
Polish. Yeah,
Probably
so
Where's Poland? Where is Poland on there?
Eastern Europe
Oh, Eastern Europe. Okay.
and Russia. So it's like that's kind of
Yeah.
Poland,
Okay. So yours
Scandinavia.
makes
Russia.
sense.
Yeah.
It's some of it's a little lower.
And in my settlers, it says that I am from the Eastern Kentucky and Southwestern Virginia settlers lineage.
Kentucky,
and,
we knew.
Appalachian, Kentucky, and Virginia settlers lineage. And then, what does this one mean? Further back, I think, is Lower Midwest and Virginia settlers. And
I think
Ohio
it's-
River Valley.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
color coded, I think. So.
Yeah, and then Ohio River Valley,
Yeah.
Indiana, Illinois, and Iowa. And I know that my dad was born in Michigan, so that makes
That
sense
makes
for
sense.
that.
Yeah.
Whereas my mom's side was from Kentucky, the Kentucky area.
Yeah.
So that makes a lot of sense. This is
Yours
dead
make a-
on for me. Yeah.
Yours make a lot more sense than mine.
Oh, I found him. Close family. My grandfather.
Yeah.
Definitely. Like
Yeah.
it says possible close range, close family to first
Extremely.
cousins, extremely high. It linked him without knowing that we were related. I didn't click anything at any point.
Are you sure? Because I know we
No,
built
I mean
trees when got
I have a
married.
tree. It's not linked to this DNA sample that they got.
Oh.
They just got. I can link the tree now to my sample, and
And then look at your second cousins. I know that's
Yeah.
right because I recognize
I have
that
second
name.
cousins that have done it from on my mom's side.
Okay, so then that looks like the Germanic.
Yeah, so I have I have 3 second cousins that have done it that are related on here, and then a few like a whole bunch of third cousins. Looks like maybe 50, 100, and then fourth cousins even more. Like I have the next page of fourth cousins.
Wow.
So hundreds of people have done it that are at least fourth or close to fourth to sixth cousin range, whereas you had, I think, 1 or 2,
Not many.
not many that had
No.
actually done the test. That's wild that so many people in my family have done it.
Wow.
But yeah, so my grandfather is definitely linked. It definitely knows that he's related to me, closely related, and second cousins who I know personally, and I know that they are second cousins.
I know that they are, but the name is
And
from our
it's
wedding.
definitely matched,
so.
and it even shows you matches in the tree.
Oh. Wow, there's 7 people.
Or no, I guess she is.
connected. So there's 7 people, I guess, in common
Yeah.
there. So a lot
people
of
that they've put in their tree, the same people that I've put
Yeah.
in my tree, it's figured out. There's 3 on this match, 7 on the next match.
And they even figured out an unlinked tree on here on his too. So
Yeah.
his are very, very different and a lot more
See, like,
accurate than mine.
I guess I have Grandpa in my tree, but it's
Yeah.
not the same exact entry
No,
that they
well,
have.
it's because I created one for us. So it's probably slightly unlinked.
Oh, so I can compare with him directly. Like, okay, so
Oh, you can
22% Baltic states and 21% Eastern Europe and Russia, and he has Eastern Europe 55%. So my 44% of that side is basically the same there. So I wish I could. let's see if I
Well,
can
and
zoom in.
it's directly connected to him too,
Yeah.
not
So
just.
that's related to his.
Oh.
He's a lot more Great Britain than I am. I have a lot more Germanic Europe than he does.
Was Scandinavia listed on yours?
On mine?
Yeah, it is on his.
No.
Okay.
I mean Norway and Sweden, Scandinavia.
Yeah, they're so low too.
Yeah.
Okay. Huh. So his was a lot more of what we expected, with some other little interesting.
Yeah. So it nailed it. It got us related and nailed our closest in relation, are the sides of the family. Like, this is exactly what I expected. Unlike hers, who was nothing like we expected, and I almost called Fooey on the result altogether
Catch.
after hers.
Thanks for that cussing on my channel. My whole life's a lie.
Yeah, Fooey, yeah, say. Okay, so that was cool. That's really fun. I'm gonna link our trees, and we'll have these results. Will be on the internet forever, so our descendants, hundreds of years from now, will be able to see what our DNA was, and see whatever genetic traits we have. And I don't know, maybe by then they can trace particular traits through generations. Your
trace
brown
it
eyes, big ears, through the family tree down to them, and they could see exactly where they got.
Like where
Where
it
their
started,
hairline
kinda,
came
maybe?
from, or
Yeah.
wait, this or that, and I think that's cool.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, I can tell you for sure, like his father and his grandfather are all, they're peas in a pod together. They're so similar, and even their baby pictures and stuff, they look so much alike. So, yeah, this match is what I expected and hoped for him.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it's
So-
pretty cool.
And I'm wondering if her tree is gonna be built better on my mom's side, because I had my paternal side of my tree is built really well, but my maternal side is not very detailed. But hopefully my cousin that it found, I can link with her tree, and hopefully her tree's more full on that
Expand
side.
it. Yeah,
That'll
especially because she's first, second
that'd be
cousin.
fantastic.
So
And if anyone takes this test in the future, I'll get more results, and
yeah.
it's really cool.
Yeah, whereas on my side, I had to correct birth and death dates of some of my family that I knew, like my great-grandmother and my grandfather and stuff like that. So I'm wondering how accurate mine really is on the information that's out there, based on the fact that I know that there's misinformation automatically. But,
That's cool.
it knows the DNA part of it.
Yeah.
So that still just makes mine all the more interesting. I really wish I
It
knew
says
what
that she
came from
logged in
what.
yesterday. I bet she got an email.
She probably got
that
the
says
same
you
thing.
have new results.
All right, guys. Well, so now you sort of know, I guess, what to expect or not to expect, and when you do Ancestry DNA through Ancestry.com. So I'll put a referral link in the description, and you all can check out your DNA too. We just wanted to document this and see what our results, have. We've always been kind of curious, and I'm still really surprised yours didn't have as much Irish as I expected. So anyway, a couple surprises here and there, more on my end than his, but it definitely does work. It definitely does link him to people that we know for sure he's definitely related to, like his grandfather. So anyway, you guys have a great night, and I will talk to you soon.
Hi.
Bye.